Okay, featured performer. Okay. I am going to call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Exciting to be back here again. I will look for action on the consent agenda.
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
All right, just before, I just want to pull one thing out. It contains the minutes from the July 13th meeting, the school board meeting, and administrative certified and co-curricular staffing recommendations. And one of those things in there is Jeff Mahoney's retirement notice. So I just want to call that out. All right, any further questions, discussion? Anything else? No? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, hearing none, motion carries 4-0. And then there are personnel items that do not require a vote. And do we have any public comments tonight? No public comments. Look at us, we're cruising. That brings us to our district administrator's report. You're on.
Thank you. I'm not used to being on so
Quite so
soon. Yes, so some things I wanted to share with you tonight. The first thing I wanted to talk about was summer school, and that's both a celebration and a recognition and some facts for you. So summer school this year was another amazing success. We offer summer school primarily for our students entering grades 1 through 5, and that was in June. But we also do Camp Kindergarten, which just happened the last 2 weeks. In addition to those things, though, I want to acknowledge that part of summer school includes band and orchestra lessons as well as SPA, and I'll give you some information about SPA as well. That's speed, power, and acceleration. And so here's summer school. The first through fifth grade, we have used, I think for the past 5 years, a format which really mirrors a school day in the sense that they travel together with a group, they have reading, they have math, and they also have related arts time, similar to what they do. And that has really been successful. I think it's helped to increase and stabilize our student participation, and maybe more as important, provide stability in our staffing. Mm-hmm. So we consistently have our teachers during the school year signing up to teach summer school, which is not always the case prior to that. And we also have, we're able to, because there's such interest from teachers in teaching it, we're able to have the same teachers in all the sessions for the first 2-week session and the second 2-week session. So that's outstanding. That consistency really, really helps. So this year we had approximately 276 students in June and then 293 in July. So people can sign up for either or both sessions. We had 17 high school volunteers, so that's outstanding. Those students make a huge difference, and hopefully they'll all become teachers. We have, and then 21 teachers and 10 educational assistants. So it's well-staffed, and great participation. Particular want to give acknowledgement for this session for our building administrators who serve as the acting summer school principal. So they're on site for that time. So we have Corey Shefchak and Brooke Hauser and Leah Lackey and Amy Tranel, who all served in that role. Did a great job making sure that that was covered. Camp Kindergarten, of course, was the last 2 weeks in July. We had 109 students there, and just great participation, 7 teachers. We had 10 EAs, educational assistants supporting classrooms, and 12 high school volunteers. And this really, in addition to the people I mentioned before, involves also our 4K coordinator, Emily Broom, plays a very critical role. The goal is to have all of those families, whether they attended 4K or not, to send their kids to Camp K. And we had, I don't know exactly what the participation rate was, but it was very close to everyone. And new this year with Camp K, we kind of moved the model a little bit more to be building-led. So with, yes, Amy and Brooke played a more critical role than sort of summer school lens, but also Lindsay and Sarah in the office were present. And the goal this year, we're trying to really mirror what it will be like for those kids when they start. Now, they may forget, but at least their nerves are calm. It's also for the families that we want to mirror it. Unfortunately, we had to adjust the pick up and drop off due to construction on the roads, not our construction. So that went really well. I heard wonderful things about it. And then SPA, we had 297 students enrolled with 6 instructors. So that's unreal.
Was that an increase, decrease from last year, or pretty?
It's a pretty, it's about 30 kids less than
Okay.
last year.
Okay.
Which reflects, I would say a little bit of our drop in enrollment.
Yeah.
But, give or take. So about 300, I think, is probably our typical. And then, of course, you have band and orchestra lessons starting underway now. Particularly saving the biggest shout outs for last is just for Emily Kinser and Carly Cherick. Emily, in her role as Director of Teaching and Learning, does a lot of the organization, the planning, but couldn't be done without Carly, who did an outstanding job. There's a lot of details that is involved, budgets and planning and staffing and communication, and I heard really positive things. So,
Awesome.
very excited for that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, my kid's one of the high school
Yes.
volunteers and does summer school and camp kindergarten, and he just adores it. So that has been a really great addition. I mean, I love the older kids with the younger kids, but yeah, it's so beneficial for all the kids involved.
It really is.
Yep.
Yeah, that high school volunteer thing is something that I'm glad that we're spending some extra time tonight acknowledging, because it's pretty special.
Yeah, it is. It is. So.
My rising third grader is mostly looking forward to the new playground. But the rest, I'm sure,
Yes.
is vitally, he enjoyed every moment.
Yeah, that is a big step, yeah.
But
That's a big step. And
thank
then,
you.
yes,
That's-
I
That's
want
it.
to share some highlights from around the district, so I don't know if we can get that up on the screen. However that happens, it just does all the time. So,
That kind of looks like a
Ta-da.
steak in the water.
It does. Yeah.
I actually thought it was a steak when I first looked at it.
there's an image for the audience. There's
Yep.
oh,
Yes.
there it is. Thank you so much.
They're like, what is this lady
However
talking
that
about?
happened.
Yep.
Wizard. So here, speaking of summer school, so you have Miss Presser's class here, just having a great time. So I wanted to see kind of what it looks like to see summer school and that learning in action. So we encourage the staff to send us some pictures of the students learning. So here's another one. This is Miss Hawthorne's class, and they're doing some writing. Interestingly, Miss Hawthorne is a middle school teacher who was teaching the students from Moa Vista, so what a great
Aw.
thing. And she had them write letters to their 8th grade selves, which will be, something that they'll look back on when they get to,
That's so
Eighth grade.
funny. I love it.
so some pictures and things and what's important to you then. Very fun. And of course, the recognitions for Jayla Moore just keep coming. It's just so amazing. So this is All-American by United Soccer Coaches. So just what an amazing season that the team had and everybody involved and a true standout.
And she's a
Jalen.
really good human, too.
And she's a good
Yeah.
human too. So, yeah, really hard worker, really positive attitude. I don't know if you saw any of the interviews with her at all, but just, yeah, gonna make a great difference in the world, so congratulations. And here, I wasn't able to attend, I was out of town, but the Juneteenth celebration, sounds like it went really well. And that's a neat combination with the village and the Black Student Union and the McFarland Equity Project. So I love that. So many people are involved in that, and always has amazing food and great speakers, and typically an extremely warm day.
That's true, it's always warm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that was really great. So I wanted to give that a shout out. And then some other things I wanted to recognize. I know this weekend was the Bill Garvey Memorial Golf Outing. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate as well as we would have liked, but it sounds like people did something.
I saw pictures of, normally I'm there, but I wasn't able to be there this weekend. And I saw pictures of celebrations and libations in the tent,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Make the best of it.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
Right.
I mean, I will say it was probably an early morning for drinking since the outing started at 8.
Yes, right.
But, you know, in true Wisconsin style.
Yeah, and it sounds like, you know, people made the most of it, and there was a record number of people signed up
Mhm.
Wow.
to golf, so,
Okay.
to play, so.
It was really nice. I saw that Derek Schwarting's foundation, they all had matching polos, and they did a really nice donation on his behalf. So
Oh,
They
that's
really
nice.
he normally participates in it every year. So
Yeah,
he was there in spirit.
that's
Yeah,
right.
well said.
From what I know about golfers, they will rain or shine as long as there's not lightning. So
Mhm.
I'm sure as many
Yeah,
who could have been there were there.
Mm-hmm.
definitely. And
Yeah.
so special thanks to the McFarland Educational Foundation,
Mhm.
and then the athletic department as well, does a lot of work on it. But it's a great fundraiser, so
Mhm.
we'll see. They
True.
still raise money, so we'll see what they do. We do use that money, so we're hoping it was still a good fundraiser. And then the other thing I wanted to recognize was that President Fessler and I had the opportunity to participate in the Know Your Village
That's true, we did.
event. Yes, so we were cordially invited by Village President Stephanie Brassington to be the guests at this community event where people can come and ask us questions and, in our case, learn about the district, but they've done it with several other departments. And just a really neat way to be engaged. And so we went, there were a few people there, asked some really thoughtful questions. Good chunk of it, I would say there were two main topics that I recall, and fill in the blanks here, Megan. One was school funding, and that could have been because I kept going back to it. They were asking questions.
They were asking a lot of questions about it,
But,
though, so it was, yeah.
And then also
Appropriate.
technology.
Mhm.
That was another one, and just really found it engaging. And I think you just learn a lot about what people know or think they know or are curious about.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was a relatively small group, very engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it was so I appreciate being invited.
Yeah.
Anything you would add?
No, I would say be on the lookout for them because they are doing several different topics and departments, and it's really one of Stephanie's initiatives to try to have this opportunity to have people understand those things that are often misinformed out in the community through rumor or, anything like that. Just if you're confused about something or curious about something, show up and ask a question.
Mhm.
And like a couple of the folks that were there were pretty avid village meeting attendees. and so had a good knowledge base of that, but weren't as engaged with the school district because they don't have kids in the district, and that's, part of the community that we've really tried to reach, so it was kind of nice to have that, and we had some of our avid fans there as well. So yeah, I'm grateful that we continue to find ways to collaborate and get, just working together and talking about those things.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
And
was fun.
Stephanie had questions herself, which was kind of
Mhm.
neat. And there was another village trustee, Kathy Annan, was there and asked some questions too. So it was kind of nice. They got to see us kind of ask, discussing. And it is really two-way, those sessions, so it's not like you're going to sit and get lectured at.
No.
We didn't have a
We
presentation.
did not.
You
No,
know, it
that's
was
nice.
very casual and informal, and
Mhm.
we learned some things as well.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Some things coming up to note, we have the McFarland Schools Equity Collective is meeting on the 12th of this month. One of my favorite things, that'll be on the 13th, is the Nelson's Bus Ice Cream Social. So we go and families come and you get to meet with Nelson's, see the buses. You can drive a bus, which is pretty exciting, and ice cream served by ourselves and Monona Grove Administration.
Oh,
So
fun.
feel free to come. If you want to scoop ice cream, you're always welcome.
Drive a bus.
I know.
Take it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. And then we're back here on the 17th for a school board meeting. New staff orientations on the 20th. And then staff come back officially on the 24th. Some staff will be back next week on the 11th. We have our school improvement leadership team meeting. And then district photo days coming up on the 25th and 26th from 10 to 7. And the first welcome back night. So we're doing welcome back on 2 different nights. One's the 26th and one's the 27th. And the 26th is focused on 3rd grade and 6th grade transitions. So we're trying to do that so they have a little more focus time for them, and then everybody else kind of is on the 27th. The 26th is also Women's Equality Day. Empowering women today ensures a brighter tomorrow. Happy Women's Equality Day coming up, but we'll get to talk about it again. So
Every day.
those are every days, yes, Women's Equality Day. All right, so those are the things I wanted to share. Do you have any updates, recognitions, things you wanted to share?
I do want to talk about a very important day that's coming up on Tuesday of next week. Next Tuesday, we do have a primary election, specifically regarding the governor's race. So on the ballot, there are 2 Republicans and there are 4 Democrats. I tend to be a little bit of a political person, so I'm going to squelch that a little bit today. But all I will tell you is, please exercise your right to vote. We are given that as a right. Please exercise it. Make sure you find your appropriate polling place. You can register online beforehand. Great things. So regarding the candidates, I know there's been a lot of news on the Democratic side, people coming and going, and the only advice and insight I will give is I highly recommend you watch the Democratic governor's debate, and it's available on YouTube. It's very eye-opening. Mandela Barnes is no longer in the race, but he is part of that as well. Especially look at the candidates' answers regarding public education funding, because there is a lot of information out there that is very applicable to everyone in the state of Wisconsin. And if you're unsure of who you want to vote for, educate yourself. I mean, I regularly tell people to Google, who should I vote for? And you will actually get quizzes that will take you through who you should vote for. based on, your own stance on things. Also, if anyone has questions regarding any of the candidates, Republican and Democrat, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. Also, my school email. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, just because I am very well versed in all of the candidates and their stances on numerous topics.
Awesome.
And with that, my soapbox is done.
Thank you, legislative liaison.
You are welcome, Madam President.
Be informed and vote, particularly in that order.
Yes.
Yep, and know what you need to take to the polls to be able to vote.
True. Yeah, know your polling location.
Yep, so, awesome. I wanted to just shout out to just administration in general, as, we always think of summer as being slower, and some staff isn't working, some staff is. And I know that council starts kind of officially meeting back up this week, and so.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So, people are already hard at work. I mean, Aaron already shared that, but, council specifically getting hard at work already this week, even though the rest of us are like, oh, we still have a few more weeks of summer. So, thank you for ending your summers early. Anyone else?
It is still summer.
It is true. Ending, yep, you know what I mean.
And it feels
No,
like
I
it's
do.
today, right
I
now,
do.
in
It's
this
just-
room.
It does. It is still summer.
No, I think the only thing I'll say is that more a serious thank you to those teachers and volunteers and assistants for the summer school program. Like, the clear communication as a parent with kids was amazing. So thank you for the time and effort. It really does help, especially with the transition period of time for my kiddo, and then I know from talking with some neighbors that that's the case too. So thank you for offering your kindness and expertise in that time. So it's much appreciated.
True.
Well said.
All right. Any others?
I do wish to personally extend some words of encouragement to our neighbors in Madison as the community moves forward, finding a way to collaborate and heal from something. With Madison being so close, it's just really, really difficult to navigate the realities of life.
Yeah.
And I just really want to send words of encouragement to all those impacted by what has happened there.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. It's been I think we're one of the closer, suburbs to Madison. We're just a bike ride away, so it's important to recognize. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. I think we're on to our action items then. And the first one that we have is action on the 25-26 budget changes. And Jeff Mahoney is out, so we have Carrie Roberts here in case we have any questions. And we did get some information about this ahead of time. There was an update today to that document. So is there any preview you want to
I
offer?
would just say this is, as you saw in the information shared, this is an annual thing when the actual numbers come in at the end of the fiscal year, about how things are adjusted. And sometimes interesting things happen and sometimes good things happen. In our case, you'll see with some increased revenues that those monies were allocated to different needs, so that led to an adjusted budget. One of the things that I can speak for our, at some point, retired director of business, Jeff would say he really focuses on being thoughtful, cautious, and conservative in the estimates that we have, and then when you do have good news come your way, that we did with the increased enrollment and reimbursement with the virtual school and some health insurance savings, that we're able to reallocate those to needed things, capital projects and other things. So that was very good news.
Awesome.
Yep, it's good. Okay, any
Any
other
questions?
questions on that?
No.
Okay, I would look,
Poor Carrie, she's in bed there, just like waiting.
I'd rather have no questions.
Well,
Yeah,
there you
right.
go.
Yeah.
She's got all of her spreadsheets
She's
ready to
not
go.
ready.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna
that's
answer.
right, that's right.
That's cute.
She already did all the work, so then we don't have
That's
questions,
true.
so it's great. Okay.
Then
I would,
move to approve the budget changes for the 2025-26 school year as recommended by administration.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. And then we have action on the first reading of some policies. And I'll entertain a motion for that.
I move to approve first reading of the following policies: 0144.5, Board Member Behavior, Communications, and Code of Conduct; 1213, Student Supervision and Welfare; 3213, Student Supervision and Welfare; 4213, Student Supervision and Welfare; 7530.02, Staff and School Officials' Use of Personal Communication Devices; 7540.03, Student Technology Acceptable Use and Safety; 7544, Use of Social Media; 8120, Volunteers; 8462, Reporting of Child Abuse and Neglect and Sexual Misconduct.
I'll second.
All right. Perfect. All right, so, discussion then. You want to offer
Is it okay? I
summary?
can give you a little background, and you know this, so for the viewing public who has decided to spend their summer evening watching us talk about policies, these policies come out of a law that was passed by our state legislature. It's called Act 89. It is sort of colloquially, how do you say that word?
Colloquial.
I don't know.
It's known as the grooming law.
Yeah.
And so there's certain things that are required as part of this law that it needs to be included in policies for school districts to comply with the law. And these policies that you're reviewing here for the first reading, these are policies that, as you know, we've continued to update over time. So they're not out of date, it's just more aligning with the law that was passed. And it seems like there's a lot of them, but it's just because there's so many policies that talk about issues such as boundary issues between staff and students, for example. And so, for the most part, there's not a lot of options for you to consider. There are some. There are some change. There's one specific change that we deviated slightly from the language that was proposed by the policy service, Neola, in regard to people that have existing or other relationships with a student outside of their role. And I did run that by them and made sure that that was, legal, what we're talking about. But basically it allows things like your neighbor watches your dogs and they're a student, you can text them to say, can you dog sit? That otherwise, if that was not included in the definition, that would be considered a policy violation, and the staff member could be disciplined. Now, it has to be, a separate relationship, and those are the only things that you can't mix the two.
Right,
So,
right.
anyway. it's
And
probably
that
more-
risk is higher in a small community like ours.
Correct.
Like, it wouldn't be
Yeah, well said.
as noticeable, probably in Madison for sure, but, yeah. So, we're all pretty much neighbors, so. Okay, and most of these we've, like Erin said, we actually just reviewed in our last policy review, so within the last few months.
Yeah.
So I don't anticipate there to be many questions, but we'll just go through like we normally do and see if anyone has questions or comments. So the first one is policy, the board member behavior and communications, 144.5. Anything there?
No, that one just, I'd like to pull out that an initiative of the previous board to just be a little bit more timely and up-to-date on reading materials prior to the meeting, so I think that wording is in alignment with what we just said.
Oh, submitting the questions. Yep, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, is
Well
your,
said.
is
For
your mic-
those of you that didn't hear that.
Oh, 'cause your mic was off. Okay.
I noted that it was an initiative of the previous board to ensure that we were a little bit more prepared for meetings, and that the verbiage of the update does align with what our intentions are.
It's true. Yep, anytime we can, if we have any questions ahead of time, really for anything, but specifically policies, it's always good to ask them ahead of time.
And it's
So that-
so nice that Aaron is always available.
I know, I know. His poor Sunday nights.
Really try to do it before, though.
It's true. Okay.
The
Any,
only question I had on this one
Mhm.
was under P for Paul, where it says refrain from using their board positions for personal or partisan gain.
Mhm.
Should it be and/or partisan gain, or is or the appropriate? And that's just semantic, maybe, so maybe it doesn't matter, but I didn't know if that was something to call out or not.
Anybody have any
mm,
opinion?
refrain from using there.
That might be the wording in the statute. I'm not sure.
It maybe
Mm.
is. I'm not married to it, or, I mean, I'm tied to it anyway, so it was just something I was like, oh, you could act in both ways, so, I
Mhm.
don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah.
The way I think of the term or is that it does include both of them. You can't do either of them,
Mm-hmm, true,
but I'm,
True. That's, yeah,
yeah,
that's perfectly fine.
okay. All right,
Thanks for calling that out.
yeah.
don't do it.
Just, yeah, don't do it. I mean, in
Yeah.
other words,
Yeah.
no matter what that is, personal or partisan, just don't do it.
Just don't
Yeah.
Period.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, anything else on that one? All right, policy 1213, student supervision and welfare.
One thing I just want to point out, just a reminder to the board, is that you'll see in here in a lot of the places, or guardians is
Yeah.
crossed out.
Yeah.
The reason is what Neola does and our policies do is they define a term in the definitions policy. And then when you go through all the policies, when you look at parents, you go back to the definition of parents in the definitions, and it includes guardians.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to note that it's not that guardians are excluded, actually they're included in the definition, and then we save words
Yeah.
later on.
Help the planet.
No,
I
that's
think.
good, that's good. That was one of my questions, because when I first joined the board, that was, as we try to change to more inclusive language, I think we added that. And now that, like, we've decided to just put it in the definitions, and, yeah. So thank you for calling that out. Okay.
One quick thing before we move on, as I scroll through. I do have another question on the last one. The board member interaction with staff, it seemed like in that policy, we talked a lot about PCDs. But is that, like, there's one, was it with students? Maybe not. General expectations. Do we have to mention PCDs in the particular section where it talks about staff? Because in the prior section, when it says appropriate discussion content when using personal communication devices, and then it separates it staff, is that just an understood that personal communication devices are included? Did that question make any sense?
I think I understand what you're saying. Like in the school board member interactions with students, they call out PCDs,
Yes.
personal communication devices.
Yeah.
But then with board member interaction with staff, they do not.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Yes.
if I had to guess, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, that we have other policies that address how staff use PCDs,
Okay.
and so maybe it wouldn't be, necessary to call it out in here? Would you agree?
Yes, because
Okay.
staff to staff, so board to staff, staff to staff, can use personal communication devices to communicate with each other. We do that.
Yes.
Because we're adults and we're.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
adults,
there's no
so we do
grooming.
that. When you
Okay.
say, I'm running late for our one-to-one meeting,
Never,
that
never
is
has
an
that
example.
happened.
Or I'm gonna be early,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah,
for our
that's
meeting.
it.
That happens?
I was like 4 minutes early today.
Nice work.
Rub it
Okay.
in. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense, okay.
I
that-
understand what you're saying,
I,
no.
thank you for the conversation. Okay,
Yeah,
Yep.
it's really about boundaries with students.
Okay. thank you.
But honestly, that's the kind of critique we're looking for, like, that we're looking at these really, like, critically thinking about
Yes.
what it means in relation to all the other policies, so it's good to get those clarifications. Okay. Okay, so back to the student supervision and welfare, 1213. Anything there? Takes me a minute to click through my pages of notes.
And sometimes, you know, when you go through these, you'll see some things, it looks like it's deleted, and it's actually because it's included elsewhere. So just, you know, I'm sure you noticed that as you read it. It's like, oh, that was moved up to a different section. But it looks like it was deleted, it was just moved.
Okay,
No questions there for me.
all right, anyone else?
Nope.
Okay, so then policy 3213, which is also student supervision and welfare, it's just the other policy manual. So, I'm assuming nothing there. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
So just so the public knows, there's 3 policies that are really the same. Student supervision and welfare, and one applies to administration, one applies to certified staff, and one applies to support staff.
Yeah. All right, and here comes the last one, 4213, student supervision and welfare. So that's that third one. All right, so, and they're all intended to be identical.
Yeah, question on all of them, because they're identical, of course. I wrote on the last one. And I'm assuming this goes back to what you just mentioned about we define things in the definition policy. Is boundary a word that's defined in that other
I don't know.
policy? Because it talks a lot about boundaries, and there was never like, what does
There
that
isn't in
actually
this one.
mean? So just asking that question. I mean, I know what a boundary is, but
I don't know that it does, but I can look. But I wonder if the examples that they provide are meant to define what that
I
means.
think so. I'm pretty sure there's language in there that says that.
Yeah, there's no separate definition of boundary in the definition.
because it kind of talks about like communications remaining professional in tone, about school-related matters. that are-
Mhm.
And there are approximately 20 different
it's mentioned a
examples
lot.
of what not to do.
Yep, and then also
Yeah,
equally as
so-
many of what to do.
I think it
so,
is kind of called out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's a good point. Okay.
That's page 27 if you want to look. I believe.
All right, so is that all for those ones? Okay, so then on to 7530, staff and school officials' use of personal communication devices.
No questions there.
Okay, anyone else have questions there? Okay,
the one thing I did want to note, this district-approved platform that we are moving forward at some point this year, we'll be transitioning into one common platform for staff to use to communicate with students and families.
Okay.
Right now, they're using a few district-approved, but now we're going to consolidate them, which will be much easier for staff to use because they'll be familiar with it. It syncs with Infinite Campus really well, and it also provides documentation, records of the communications.
Awesome.
yep, yeah, that's great. Okay. Okay, The next one then, 7540.03, student technology, acceptable use and safety. We last revised or reviewed this in June of '25. This
This
is another
is
one that continues to be updated.
Constantly changing.
Yeah, constantly changing as AI becomes more and more prevalent.
Very true.
All right.
Oh, one of
Yep.
in that one, under the heading appropriate discussion content when using personal communication devices, it mentions communicate with board members, staff, and/or volunteers, students must use. Do we need to call out administration? I never know if that falls under staff or not.
It does fall under
Yeah.
state.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you
Got
for
it.
asking.
Yep. I'll eventually remember all of these things, maybe.
That's good. Any other thoughts on that one? Okay. Okay, next one, 7544, use of social media. Okay. Next one, 8120, volunteers.
I'm good.
Yeah,
All right.
no questions.
8462, reporting of child abuse and neglect and sexual misconduct. This one we really just reviewed in April.
Yeah, and that's one where it really reflects the updates in the law about reporting sexual misconduct. That was one of the things the legislature took action on, making sure that families are informed when there's allegations involving staff members.
Okay. And that comes to the end of our policy
Yeah.
review. Is there any other discussion about that in general? Anything else you're thinking about? Okay. So it sounds like I didn't hear that there were any updates requested or discussed. So this would move on to the second reading if we take a vote here. All those in favor of approving the motion on the first reading of these policies, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0, so we'll do the second reading of that at our next meeting. You guys, this is,
Do it.
we're on.
I move to close.
I second.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:43 PM.
Record.
2 minutes earlier.
Wow.
Wow,
That's-
exceeding expectations.
Thank you,
everybody.
Wow.
everyone.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie, for being here.
Thank you.
Attending the